right?
No, both will continue.
No,
See,
material, how will it continue? Because if you had some 2, 3 houses this life, next life you may not have even one house also.
no, it depends on the punya phala. See, the thing is, it's connected to moral values. All that
Hmm.
what we have got today
Hmm.
is due to the moral values what we had led in the past.
Hmm.
So let us say, or what we don't have, what we have got deprived, also is because of the same thing.
Yep.
So let's say I'm having huge home in this life. It has
Yes.
manifested because of the right environment which came into existence.
Hmm.
And that right environment came because of the right samskara.
Hmm.
And the right samskara came into existence because of the right karma.
Hmm.
And the right karma came into existence because of that vasana, which played out.
Yep.
So the consciousness generally will just make things manifest when the right opportunity comes.
Hmm.
And the mind thinks that it is doing it.
Yeah, correct.
Because the job of the mind is to think. So it keeps on thinking and say that, okay, I did this, I did that, because it is the one which is integrating everything.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it becomes the owner, because whoever integrates becomes the owner.
Yeah, yeah, correct. That's true.
So, like in a project, the person who is integrating everything is the project manager. So, people will ask him, they will not go to each person and ask.
Hmm.
So, there is a project manager, so you ask the project manager.
Okay.
Similarly, yeah, there's a department head, everybody will ask the department head, good morning, Padmashri.
Morning, Padmashri.
Morning, Vilas.
Morning.
Okay, now the question. We already
But is not coming, is it?
But will be not coming until next Monday.
So that's what I was telling Padmashri, that our master questioner is missing. We don't have a question bank also.
When I don't see but no, then all of a sudden now who will ask the questions? So because I don't, you see, for your answers are already there, and you are saying you are not getting questions nowadays. And for me, forever I won't get questions. And but as Vilas says, when Bhakti Marga is stopped, then I can have some questions, because that is the only thing that I know little bit. Otherwise, I have not read any of the things like you people read. I was wondering who will ask the questions.
Yeah, Vilas is going to ask questions.
No, I have question.
You are going to answer.
For which you
No,
don't have
answer.
For which you don't have an answer, so we can end the session until Monday. We can take a long break. I have no problem.
No, we'll continue. Why should we take a break?
Yeah. So Bhatt is going to join, I believe, online.
Yeah, he would be already online probably.
Yeah, maybe he's online, so we'll not break his heart by saying that, okay, you are not there, so we didn't meet.
He's traveling, is it?
No. He has taken off. He is not there from today till Friday. Because Monday is a holiday. I don't know what is he going to do. He has not told me that, but he said he is off.
No, generally when he is off, he is more interested in continuing it till 10:15 and all. No? So
Yeah, maybe he is going outside. Maybe he's going outside. I have no idea. Anyway, so now coming back to the question is that why do we have an urgency when it comes to studying and earning and all that, and we don't postpone it to next life? Whereas when we look at from a spiritual perspective, we are saying that we are not yet ready. We don't get time, and we have so many things to do in this world that I don't find time to do it. So, what is the difference between spiritual and being material? Aren't they both the same? Are they really different? What's the question?
I have already answered, Padmashri, so now it's your turn.
Yeah, she was smart, Padmashri. Before you came,
I don't know what she answered, so she can answer again. So
No, first you can answer. First you can answer, then Lata can answer.
why there is an urgency, whereas while in spiritual, why there is no urgency is what you are asking, right?
Correct. See, now we have a very fine process when it comes to living. We have a very perfect process for that. We say that you go to school and then you study and then you perform, then you finish your graduation, then start for a job.
Yeah, no, I got the question now.
Okay.
But my answer to this, Vilas, is that I think as Indians, we were taught to give importance to spirituality long back in our setup. But slowly we have lost it. We have just started to copy others who were doing something else. Instead of allowing them to copy this, we thought, because actually, if you see the very olden days, the whole setup was made to see to it that people spend enough time for spirituality. That is why the whole thing works accordingly, meaning the way we were leading our lives was according to that. But today we are copying what we see. We see that, okay, we have already given importance to the fact that having more money means we are rich and happy. Having more comforts means we will have a better name in the society. So all these are some things which have been, now we are conditioned to. Actually, in an Indian, typical Indian olden day, these were not the important things in life. They were more concerned about how much of knowledge you pick up from childhood and then how you turn it into a spiritual quest after some time. I feel we were there and we are moving away, and this is not our natural self. Even as meaning, just because we are born in this location in the world, by natural self we were not like this. Is what I feel. We have now turned like this because we are now trying to copy the people. We are conditioned. We are from birth. We are told, especially now, if you take South India in the last 2 decades. Yeah, after your 12th standard, only if you did engineering or medical, you you felt you had some future in this one, the last 2 decades. Now at least we are changing our views, but then these were always there. So what I feel is that it is what the mind is conditioned to, that is what it will ask for. And over generations, we have changed our conditioning, is what I feel. Earlier, we were not like this because mind was not born like this, is what I feel. Meaning we were not born like this. As human beings, we were never born like this. We are changing, and over generations we are changing. So when I am looking at the history, today we are talking about why mind is looking after that. But the basic reason is that our system is already changed to attain this. So in this system, if you want to go back to spirituality, it is a trial, meaning it is a very trying thing, and that is why everybody wants to postpone it. First of all, there is no value to it. Today, nobody is wanting the spirituality or wanting liberation. Today, when we are talking about it, everybody is taught from young to achieve some fame, glory, good job, good money, etc. They are not taught to look at life in a different way. So I feel that from there it starts. And after that, once you change the system, the mind will start changing itself, and there will be many more people who are looking at liberation.
Okay. But in the olden...
I don't know, it is totally unconnected answer, because you are more looking at why mind is like that. But mind is like that. It is always taking what is there in the environment.
True, I agree with you. So now, thing is, even the good olden days, 1,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago or as many years ago, that was the same system. That has not changed. Meaning now the system looks different, but even then there were normal people.
No, it was not the same, Vilas, because see, the this one you had, meaning
ashrama.
The ashramas that you had, systematically told you, see, whether people got liberated, I'm not telling all people got liberated, but the system allowed you to, after 50, just like what you are telling now, after 50, automatically you would hand over everything and you will work in Vanaprastha ashram. After that, you will look at sannyasa ashram. Sannyasa ashram, not everybody will attain it, but the point was, after 50, it was made as a system to move towards to reduce your requirement and move towards it. So there was a system which made us think like that. Here we have converted the Vanaprasthashram into retirement age of 58, but I don't think we are going into Vanaprasthashram at all. We are starting a whole new cycle after that. Some of us, we say we want to work even after retirement. Some of us say that, okay, I'll have to look after my grandchildren. See, this system is the one which is making the change. I'm not saying, we are making the system, and system is the one which changes the generation. And today we are now looking at why mind is thinking like that. But more than anything else, mind was never meant to think like that. We have trained it to think like that. So we have to untrain it and go back is what my view is about...
Correct. So,
about what your question.
Yes. Yeah. So at that time also there were these ashramas existed, but then there were very few people like kings. They used to do that, or these brahmanas anyway. They would have done that if they are not going by the grihastha, or they had gone as grihastha, then they would have done that. But not everybody as normal human being would have still done it, whether it was there or not there. So there is fundamentally something which makes something to work like that, even though there was a process. So now you don't have a process, agreeable. That is very true what you are saying. But even then, when there was a process, not majority moved into it. It's only very few people moved into it.
Yeah, but even when there was a process, it was not a 0-1 situation. Slowly, the people were moving towards these kind of materialistic things. But then it was slow. It doesn't happen in one generation to next generation. Maybe when the whole thing was put in place, everybody was doing that. That is why that became a process. Otherwise, that wouldn't have become a process at all. Meaning, nobody, I feel that it is not something somebody invented, this is what we have to do. Mostly everybody was doing, so it became a process. Then slowly people were moving away from that process is what I feel. And this doesn't happen in one generation, two generation. It takes thousands of generations before that kind of thing changes. Meaning thousands is wrong, but a few tens of generations before you see a complete change in the way the outlook of the society is. I feel the mind by nature is free. Meaning, when we start with freedom. Though I know you have been talking about the moment you are in the womb, it becomes a Baddha Atma, yes. But then there is always that struggle for freedom when it is very small. But then we are conditioning and saying that is not freedom for you. Being like this, going to school, studying, and then getting this one is what is freedom for you. That is what gives you freedom. So this is something which we teach. So what I feel is the only place it is getting Baddha is the womb, that is to do the karma which is remaining. But unfortunately, the way we are set up is we take the child and make it more and more do a lot of karmas, so that it doesn't have any chance of removing the old karmas. It only keeps creating. So there is a lot of agami and agami karma which keeps accumulating, which again becomes prarabdha after some time. So, okay, this is my view of the whole thing. But then how to get out of it is something which we have to make an effort now, much more than what our ancestors or the Atmas which were there during those time, 2000 or 1500 or 2000 years back, what Atmas were there, they perhaps had a lesser thing to get out of than us. So we are having more things to get out of than them.
Okay, good answer. What do you say, Lata?
Yeah, I have already answered. So
but now you have to repeat it, because she said after I finish, you are going to answer.
Okay, fine.
You can comment on my answer also.
Yes, you can do that.
No problem.
Yeah, so I think in every yugas or every time, there is some kind of system in place. So in this yuga, there is a different kind of system in place, and maybe it is more kind of materialistic. But still, for really people who wants to go in this path, there are enough resources and things available. because you have a lot of matas, you have a lot of people who are becoming famous, real genuine gurus. But we will be able to, we should be able to make out who are the genuine people. But there are people coming, showing the way. So whoever, and in maybe in the earlier days it was easier because those yugas were like that. Satya Yuga or Dwapara Yuga and all, they were more people who are sattvic and they are more people with that kind of nature. So as and when you came into this Yuga, there's a more kind of materialistic view has come into a picture. So in every time there are always ways open to do it. So and the reason what Vilas' question was, why is it that we think that spirituality we have time till next life and next life and next life? There is not yet time. But then for the material things, we will anyway don't want to postpone it, and we won't say that we will do it in the next life, and whatever we want to do, we want to do it in this life itself. What's the reason? So the answer I gave was, because we want to exist and we want to enjoy whatever is there, the material benefits. And if you are really in the spiritual and you get liberated, then you are not there anymore to enjoy anything. So that's the reason we keep on postponing the spiritual things, but then we are always in the material thing. So that is the same. So this is the same in any yugas or any time, olden days, now, any time. Maybe the opportunities were much more higher in earlier times.
Right. But one thing about what you are saying is to exist. So that means the person who wants all these things already knows that in spirituality you don't exist. So
yeah, innately.
That itself is a big knowledge. No,
correct. No, we are not aware of. Correct. We are not aware of it, but then intuitively somehow we know it. The mind knows it, I think.
No, I don't think we spend any time for that one at all. See, what you said is very right. In every yuga, this is happening. So in every yuga, there is a set of people who don't want to go into this and want to be here. But in those yugas, they knew that there is something like that, but we don't want to go into it, but want to move here. But in our yuga and these kinds of things, in the beginning itself, we are conditioned that this is the right way. That is it.
Yeah. So I think, correct.
So we have to. That is why I said we have to leave a lot of things now than in the earlier days. It was easy to cut things because we knew what was there. But here, when you're saying all resources are there, we don't want to go there because we know we will not exist. But that itself is a good knowledge for a materialistic person. That we don't exist when we are becoming spiritual. And we want to enjoy itself is a very big knowledge, is what I feel.
Yeah, true. So, and also in this Kali Yuga, our lifespan is only 100 years, 120 years. Nobody lives up to that. But in the earlier Yugas, much more time was there. I think Satya Yuga was 600 years or so. There was a lot of time to get into this and so on. But right now, there is no time. No? So, by the time you study and then get into some state itself, you have become 50. So there's hardly any life left afterwards. So that was my answer. So now Vilas can answer. What is the actual answer?
The actual answer is something to do with craving. So we have craving for existence and we have craving for sensuality. And because of this craving that we would somehow exist and we would like to enjoy the senses, that we can postpone something which we don't know. So spirituality is something which we don't know. Meaning even in the past that was the case. Meaning to say this cannot be experienced through senses. That kind of happiness. Whereas sensual happiness can be experienced right here, even though it is momentary, but fair. They're not having it, you have it. So it's like, I write an examination, the result comes immediately. So there is a appreciation for whatever effort has been done and the job I get, interview I pass, all of that, and the money I make. for which can be used to buy whatever I want to buy. Whereas in spiritual, there are a lot of unknowns. So basically, what has happened is that majority we work on, or we have made sure a process is dealt in such a way that all that you want to achieve materialistically, which is nothing but earning and raising a family, should happen in this life. Side by side, we can also pray to God and all that to give whatever He has to give us, because there is a God who is sitting there and His job is to keep on providing whatever I ask. So then He will give us and we will consume it and basically be done with it, rather than worrying over how I should end the existence. Now, like Padma Shri rightly pointed out, if we come to know that there is no existence after you understand spirituality itself, is a great knowledge, because spirituality cuts existence, or cuts the need for existence or future existence. So if that were to be known, that person wouldn't go mad like this. So that itself is a knowledge. Now, because the senses can be grasped right now, we have this grasping and craving. And craving will be for existence. So we would like to things to exist the way we want it to exist, so that it can be enjoyed by the senses. Hence, we don't study in this life and plan to work in the next life and start earning in that next life and marry after that next life, because we want all of that to happen right now. In whichever way is given, whatever effort I need to put, I will put it and make that happen. So this is the view with which it has been like this forever, in all the beings, not only human beings, in all the beings. And the downward beings don't even know that anything like this exists. The upper beings know it, but they are so engrossed in their happiness that they forget that it is a limited existence. So they come back to the human realm of existence or below realm of existence, and they forget all about it. So as an example, if we are having lot of gratefulness, kindness and all of that, that is a Daiva Guna. Meaning the person would have been in the heavenly realm of existence in one time or the other. And hence some of the samskaras have been retained. Or if somebody is there who is pulling away things from others and he doesn't care or something like that, very clearly shows that some point in time he was in the lower realm of existence. That mind was in that realm of existence, and now getting a human body, the mind is far better, but the traits still are there. But it is again an existence. So this craving for existence, as long as it remains, it will not leave rebirth not to be there. So it will lead to rebirth. And when there is rebirth, the aging and death is a certainty. It cannot be stopped. So we would like to enjoy as much senses as we can in that given life and depart. That's my answer to it. Question over the answer?
So, why is it that now, anyway, now I think it is coming up, or maybe I am getting aware of it now. Why is that knowledge about these Vedas and all these teachings are lost again and again? And again, somebody has to bring it up.
No, they are not lost. They lie hidden because the mind's maximum amount of minds, whatever has to be accomplished, will be on a sensual foundation. So these gets submerged in the bottom. See, let us say I am born into a family. Okay. that born into that family has happened due to the satisfying of a particular kind of karma. So let us say I am born into that family due to good punya phala on materialistic. Had done some good dana and all that in my previous life, like I donate to spastic society, cancer society, this one, that one, and that all will accumulate merits. Because of donating so many things, I'm getting a family which is very rich. So now I join there. Okay, now when I join there, they have their expectation what I should be doing. So as a child, they are going to train me like what Padma Shri says, conditioning me to believe that this is what I need to do. After some time, if the pura samskaras of mine were to get established, then I reject that. Even though there are a lot of money and lot of things, I will say I don't want it. I will like to do this, and the parents would send me away from that home because they feel very insulted that even with all of this son is really acting weird, or this daughter is acting very weird. So this memory coming of what you were doing in the past life is itself a lottery. So it also depends on which family we are born to or how we are born to. To give you a very practical example, that a person who came and stayed with me from Norway, if I were to see it, his parents are from Norway. The Norwegian culture is that both the parent or everybody has to work for the society. And I think both of you have gone to Norway and Sweden and all that. So the both work, the entire Scandinavian countries work the same way, that they have to work for the society. Society means government, and then make the country rich. So they all are supposed to be very materialistic, very working career and this and that and all that. Right? This child somehow felt at the age of 12 or 13 that he is in a wrong place, even though Norway is a very good country and Sweden is a good country to work and stay, and the environment, the greenery, and all that taken together, those two countries are very nice. But then he felt the urge of leaving that and going away from that. And the parents who used to talk to me, they were very much surprised. Why is my son like this? And he doesn't take any interest in skiing. He doesn't take interest in kayaking and this boating and all that. While we do all of that, and he doesn't want to earn, and it is so shameful that in Sweden and in Norway nobody earns for a living and doesn't contribute to society, then that person is treated very badly. So why is our son like this? So now, due to his punya phala, he was born in that country, and he doesn't have any deprivement at all. But yet, the other karma took him out of it. So he is now going around various places to settle down as a monk, which is not able to do it for whatever reason, because he is so emotionally bent upon his parents and all that, that he is not able to get the right opportunity to meditate. So he is becoming slightly sick by body and he is not able to meditate. This is the current state of his. As we spoke last week, around 8 to 10 days ago, we spoke about it. So even though the environment is good out of punya phala and everything has happened, the purva samskaras also have to match. So it's very complicated actually as a setup. If we get the opportunity now, missing it is an idiotic way of doing it, because this has to come, and it will come or not also, we don't know. So
Yeah, but
go ahead.
even if it doesn't come in the next life, for example,
Huh.
for any of us, but in some after 10 lives, maybe it'll again come and it'll again start from where we left off.
Yes, it's going to start from where you left. So when you read some book, it will immediately map it up.
Hmm.
See, I'll give you another practical example, Lata, is that there is this Agori, I was reading that book, which I shared with you, right?
Yeah, yeah, I have also read it. Yes. Hmm.
But I did not find a single page out of context.
Hmm.
Out of the whole book I read, it was like I'm doing it.
Hmm.
But you might not have enjoyed it in that way at all.
No, for me, that was something totally different.
Yeah, totally different because you don't have that purva samskara.
Hmm.
In my case, it never seemed that I don't know it. That is funny.
So maybe you in some other life you have done it, and I have never done that.
Yes, so that's the reason it doesn't get connected.
Hmm.
So, what I want to tell you is to prove that where you have left from there you continue, you will automatically jump into this. Like in the case of the Tibetan Buddhism, some years
Hmm.
ago, nobody told me, Lata, nobody came and told me, here is Tibetan Buddhism, you go into it and all that. Suddenly it happened. And fun part is, I remembered many things about it after just going through some of the descriptions what was indicated, and after hearing to Dalai Lama, it never stuck to me that what is it talking, no, this is now not how it is, or I don't understand about it, or nothing of that happened. Okay, it was so clear that I didn't have any
Hmm.
confusion at all. So, in this life, whatever I have taken, it has worked out in that way, including software development. It never seemed like I don't have the logic or I don't have the way to write a algorithm and all that. So, it is very funny how these things work out on the material plane of existence as well as spiritual plane of existence. So, the concluding is that we remember both. It's not that only spiritual is not remembered. Even the materialistic thing of whatever we have done till now is remembered. So when a right opportunity comes, you'll remember those very things.
Hmm.
Like in the case of mathematics, okay, there are child wizards who can solve, right, and there are
Yep.
singers and there are musicians. They are not spiritualistic, right?
Yeah, correct.
From where did they get that? It's out of pura
Yeah,
samsara.
yeah. So correct. That is true. So that is this previous lives or many lives they would have practiced the same thing. That's where the talent comes. That's what we call as talent.
Yes, so we call that as talent. But talent is nothing but the purva samskara coming into existence now.
Hmm.
So both are working the same way is what I wanted to tell you. This question was, is it like that spirituality is different and material thing is different? They actually not different. They are both are the same. They're absolutely the same. There is no difference. But we have made it look different, that's all, because even whatever you do now materially, scientifically, whatever you are doing today, you will remember that in the next life, just like um, finding a mate. You will you will find it. Nobody came and taught you, okay, this is how you find a mate. No, you will find it. Standing up when you are a child, nobody taught you, you'll automatically stand up. These are samskaras, right?
Hmm.
You will not wake up one day as a child and say that, you know what, I don't think so, I know how to stand up. And but the baby will crawl. Nobody taught it to crawl. It will fall on it is on the stomach side. It will start biting. As soon as it is born, it is sucking its own finger. And nobody has explained that to it. No mother has ever taught the child that okay, you put your finger in the mouth. It all of that is continuing from the Purva Samskara only. These are the things which are normally done, so nobody cares about it. Spiritual is something not everybody does it, so it becomes noted or identified, recognized, and all that.
This one is a part of samskara, you feel. Standing up and all these things are a part of samskara.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, then I just want to understand that, okay, on one occasion we also said that the next birth need not be a human birth. It can be an animal birth.
Correct.
But in the animal birth, the standing happens immediately as soon as you follow. So is that, meaning how will that be known to us? If all these things only comes by samskara, how will that thing be known to? Because each species has a way of doing certain things.
Correct.
But we have also said that it is not that in the next birth we are going to be humans only. Meaning, depending on our karma, anything can happen.
Correct.
If this is a part of this one, then what is not usual to the human samskara? How does that happen when that becomes an animal or vice versa?
Beautiful question. I have a very even more beautiful answer because we had seen it near our home. So near our home, some months ago, there was this crow which had built a nest. We have a huge tree here near that is to my balcony.
I lost in between. I have even after that there was some problem with my net.
Okay, what I said is you have asked a very beautiful question. I have even beautiful answer to it. Okay, the answer here to your question is very apt. So let me explain to you the answer. So there is a big tree near our home. It connects, that tree comes very near to our balcony. So we have grilled the balcony, but then the branches still come inside. Now there is a crow nest which was built some months ago, and the male and the female crow used to reside there, and then egg was laid, and out of 6 children which came from that crow, one of the child did not know how to fly. Actually, in a crow, what happens as soon as they hatch, it becomes a bigger one. So these 5 were able to go down and do all of that. The 6th one never knew how to fly. So the mother picked it by its beak and pulled it down, meaning it took to the road and showed it how to fly. And this poor creature is trying to flap its wings and it is not able to fly. So somehow it sat on the car next to a car. At that time near my home, that coronavirus thing was there, so they had barricaded. So it started climbing on the barricade and then it jumped into the car and stayed there. It could not get out, and around 10 crows were making that sound, asking it to get out from that car, but it did not do. Then this person who wanted to clean up the car, what he did is that he did not see the crow. So the crow was sitting below the tire, and without knowing he started the engine, and the crow couldn't be saved and it died. So in its life it could not have the purva samskara of the crow. So it really did not know what to do. Whereas the remaining 5 children were able to fly, and the parents couldn't do anything except to see its child getting killed by the car.
But Vilas, you saw all these things.
Yes.
Flying down from that.
Yes. So me and my wife were we shouted at that person. The crow is sitting down. He couldn't hear anything. So he didn't do anything. He just pulled back and he stopped. And in that the crow was there.
Oh.
And we saw all of this happening in front of our eyes.
But then, if it doesn't have a samskara of a crow, then how was it born as a crow?
This is a very good question. So this is where the karma comes into existence. At some point in time, it would match. The mind will match to that, and it takes the form.
No, if it had only that samskara, it will anyway be born as a crow. No?
Yes, that is correct.
It didn't have so much, so it just got born as a crow and then died.
Yes,
and
it ended there. And just ended there. Correct. And if you have observed, some months ago they published in paper one child has born looking like a demon kind of thing. Did you read that?
No.
I think I'll try to share that link. It had come in Deccan Herald. One child in Bangalore. It looked more like a demon and it died immediately. But if you see its facial structure and all that, it looks like a demon.
Okay.
Okay, it has big eyes and big ears.
What is looking like a demon, because nobody has seen a demon. We only heard descriptions of demons.
Correct, right? The description, but the body, if you see, it looks huge for the child. It looks as though, how did that woman carry this big mass? That, let us not call it as a demon. Whatever it was looking, it looks very gory to see.
Okay, it was different from how we look.
Yes, it was very different from how we look. Not just different. Very, very different. So different kind of experiences can be had for the very first time, and then the learning curve will be very high. And I will also tell you one thing. I am helping an autistic child. Okay. Now that guy, if I were to meet you, you will come to know how this whole thing works. That fellow cannot understand anything. Okay. Now we might say that autism and that is how it is, and autistic spectrum disorder, ASD. So we have named a lot of things and we have said this is the behavioral, that is this one, that one, and all that. But if you look at how karma plays out, it's so different. Meaning, he doesn't have ability to recognize anything. And he is totally different in the sense that he is not a mentally retarded or a differently abled person. No, physically he looks like a normal person, except for his eyes and the way he talks. Two things. Okay, so it seems like he don't have that human way of communication at all. Maybe he would have been some animal in the past which was by nature, like in the case of cow or in the case of sheep, or which just eats grass. It doesn't understand anything, let us say. Or some animal which were to just be like that and gets a human body. What would you call that? He's like that. Now his parents are confused what to do with him. Because from young age he is like that. So I spoke to them and I'm helping him to with some mantra and spiritual and all that. Something will open up, but that is another example I can give you. So everything is samskara. Now the buddhi what the person gets, like in his case, there is no buddhi. Let us say he has a manda buddhi. That means he doesn't have intellect. Now what caused him not to have intellect? The karma. What again made that karma happen? Samskara and the vasanas. So ultimately comes back to the same thing. So vasanas are the tendency. So whatever tendency he had, that created karma, and he made that into samskara. So now he is of that samskaras. Is it convincing? Or confusing? What happened? Fully silent.
No, I thought Padmashri was asking the question. So, but anyway, it was clear for me.
Okay.
It is clear. So that's why. So there is also there are some this infant death syndrome.
Yes.
So the human the child is born and then immediately dies off without any apparent reason.
Correct.
Maybe because of this.
Yes.
They just entered their karma and went.
Correct.
So does only human beings has karma, or because
Everyone.
whatever animals they are going by their nature, so then they don't have any karma, right? Whatever they do, because they're just doing what the nature asked it to do.
No, whatever we see, even our karma is by nature only, right? What else is karma?
Right. No, but we also think, with the mind's intention, we think something and then do.
No, even they have intention, right? They are able to do within that intentions. See, you can't say that in an animal or in a bird there is no intention.
So then they also have karma similar to us.
Yes.
And
only
about
thing is their intentions must be different, right? Meaning their intentions are not like ours. They are different kinds of intentions.
They are different kind of intention, yes.
So
Just
then also a country like India, like that, also has karma.
Everyone has karma, whether they believe in karma philosophy or they don't believe in karma philosophy, that really doesn't.
No, what I mean to say is a country like India, for example, it was invaded by many foreigners and then this culture was destroyed.
Correct.
So that was in India's karma to happen like that, or?
That is as a nation or as a land or something like that, right?
Yes.
That the creation and destruction are going to be there in every given place. So whatever gets created even as a dharma will get destroyed. Okay. And then what happens here is that again the dharma gets established. Again it is destroyed. In wherever it is.
Also we can think as that it is not the karma of that country or the place. It is more about the karma of the people who are going to come into that place, right?
That's right.
Who are staying in that place.
That's
so
right.
That collective karma is what happens to the place.
Absolutely. Agree. Very, very true. And the place gets formed because of that.
True.
So today you have only one question, Navilas.
I only was prepared only for this question. I didn't have anything else to discuss. Tomorrow
Uh-huh.
onwards, we can start with the Viveka Chudamani continuation, but I had only this question to ponder and see why are we like this.
Okay.
I have one question with respect to that crow story. I'm still thinking in that this when you said that didn't have the samskara, that is why it did not fly. But you mean to say all the other crows and all the other human beings, which are not the exceptions for the general species, they are the only people who were supposed to be different, meaning who were different and who happened to be different in this Janma. And the remaining 90% were born a crow earlier, and hence they are born. Okay, leave it as a crow. They were born as a bird earlier, and now also they are born as a bird.
Can happen like that. I'm not trying to say that
But
is.
no, but that is 90% of the case. No, meaning
Yes,
no, we are looking at. See, because out of the 6, 5 of them could fly as a natural this one. And you showed the example of this 6th bird which could not fly. And so you indicated that maybe its samskara was not there for it to fly. That was the reason it happened. But such things happen. These are exceptions, more exceptions than the rule.
Correct.
But depending on our karma, we become something else that is more a rule than an exception. And so if we have to think like that, can we, with this one, can we say that we will keep continuing, most of us will keep continuing the way we are, and there will be a few exceptions?
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Most of us continue the way we are, because to penetrate so much itself is a greatest achievement. To see what is happening, we don't see it. See, now that crow thing, what we saw, we never really looked into it in that way. Actually, so many people saw that when this lockdown was there, when this thing happened. I think this happened in July. Yes, that's the time that woman had died and they had barricaded, and the crow was sitting there. And since this mine is a 3rd floor, and it exactly can see the nest. So we were seeing that how it is helping, how this mother crow or father crow, whatever that crow is trying to help this child to learn to fly. It did its best to do it. In 2 days, it did its best. The 3rd day, it died. Whether it died because of coming below the tire or it was already dead, I don't know, but it was dead. So, now that is an exception, but why did it become a crow? Is that its samskaras matched with that. So it became a crow, because the vasanas and the karma and the samskara was able to become like that, and it became. So the becoming is going to be there, that existence is going to be there. So that being in some point in time wanted to exist. There's another story I can tell you. Maybe this will be more interesting to you. There is my friend's daughter. She was at that time when she was very young, right at the age of 3 until the age of 12. Okay, she wanted to become a dog, and all the time she used to like dog, be with dog. Even her dolls are all dogs. From her young age, she has been buying the toy dogs, apart from playing with the dogs on the street. And all the dogs like her in the road. Okay, so this is her nature. And she used to say that I want to become dog, I want to become dog, and all that. Let us say for some reason that child would die because it wants to become dog. What would have happened? it would have become the dog. But after becoming dog, whether it is capable of remaining is as a dog or not, that is secondary. That we don't know. That will be like the story of the crow. But can happen. And she used to tell me all the time the stories of dogs. From where all she used to find it, I don't know, but that is what she used to do. So that's another example. Any other question?
Any other question?
Apart from this question. I sent one video just now on. I sent about that child which looks like a demon, and I also sent one thing on the microscopic world, which I explained to you yesterday. I am trying to find one where you can. They have taken near the eyes, so there is a being which comes out of the eyelashes, sits there. When you sleep, it is going around, and when you open up your eyes, it goes inside.
Microscopic world. What was that?
That is about so many insects and beings which are there
Okay.
on our skin, in our eyes, and all that. Yesterday I was explaining to you, right? That
Yeah,
question
correct.
about what Bhatt was asking. So I'm saying that there is a microscopic world within you, and for them we look like the world. That is their world. Even if you were to take a bath, it will not go, because they eat all the dead cells. If they were not to eat, then we would be dead. So they keep on eating them. And they eat, they breed, they have a family, they have everything. So I'm trying to search for one video which had that. I had seen it, and then when I saw these cells moving in my body, I was wondering what a world it is. Which I think is my body. There is nothing, not even one thing in that as my body.
I'm just seeing that video.
Okay.
What all is there on our beds?
Yes.
It doesn't go away. So you can go and change bed sheets n number of times.
Correct. It will not go away.
I don't know. I think I don't remember. Maybe 1 or 2 years back. Suddenly, when I closed my eyes, I was seeing all these veins or nerves. I don't know, whatever it is. It was a kind of light pink background, and in that red color, so many like kind of veins or nerves are going like that. And then on that, I saw this kind of bubbles, silver color or not silver. I don't know, like diamonds. So many bubbles across all. I don't know what that is suddenly.
Okay.
So I felt that it's like veins, and then in that the prana is flowing. So that's what I felt. That was those kind of diamond bubbles.
Mm. That is there. Actually, if you closely watch your nerves, it looks like a highway.
Mm.
If you can see, and so many things inside it, Lata. It is a world on its own, wherein the mind has no power to discuss on anything.
So this is the one kind of house which is built and the mind is residing in it, right?
That's all.
Yes.
It has no connection to it.
It is connected via the breath.
That's all. And the thing is that mind can tell that I am this, I am that, but in reality, it doesn't have any existence.
Mm.
They will not care. These cells will not care what the mind thinks.
Yeah. It's good to get that realization really.
Yes. I think slowly it will get in. The moment you start seeing your body like that, the realization is there. The mind will no longer try to take itself as a myself.
Mind will still take, right? So it will not take the body as itself.
It will stop taking like that because now it knows that it cannot. See, now when I see these things floating around, how can I ever say that it is mine?
Yeah, yeah. So if you are able to see,
Yeah, if you are able to see.
hmm.
I will try to send that. I don't know where, I didn't send.
I was seeing this demon child, whatever is in Assam, no, not in Bangalore.
Assam, yes. I thought it is
So it
Bangalore.
has eaten his mother's liver.
Yeah,
Is it?
very crazy one.
Baby born at 11 months.
Hmm.
The fact is different. The child is suffering from a rare disease. Okay. So what I think that is not correct. It ate his mother's liver and all that. That's simply nonsense.
Maybe whatever it is. It had come in the paper. I don't know how far it is true or for some months ago. Oh, sorry, it is in 2019 is what it shows. But I'd read about that.
Hmm. But it's looking totally different. It's a rare skin disorder, it seems. So, that the skins are when the old cells are not getting shed, something like that. Maybe it was supposed to be born in some other realm of existence.
Yes.
So there is a loga called Nagaloka.
Yes, it is there. Very much there.
Hmm. That's where it was told Sankaracharya also went. to solve some dispute.
Yes, it would be there. There are so many lokas.
But Nakaloka is also must be in the material world, right? It's not
Should
that other.
should be there wherever it is there, but it is there.
So is it material or is it astral?
Beyond a human realm is everything will be astral only, right? Beyond a human
Okay.
and animal realm. Because in this realm, the five elements look so differently with five senses. In another realm, the same five elements and the five senses will look totally different.
No, so you mean to say this is the only place, this animal and human realm, are the only material realm?
No,
There
no,
are
no,
no
no,
other
no, no, no,
material
no. What I'm
realms.
trying to say is, like, if you take Indraprastha of Indra, right?
Yeah.
He is using the same kind of material, but it looks so different. They don't have to use brick and mortar and all that, right? And the animals and birds, they don't build homes like what we are building.
Right.
So the realms, we can really see that the same five elements look so much different.
Hmm.
Meaning it is the same five elements. There is no different in the five element. Correct?
Yeah, yeah. So that is true, but it depends on the instruments we get in
No,
different
no, no,
realms.
no. That is no. You are missing the point. It is the same five element. If the instrument is also five element only, but how it senses the cognition with five senses and mind cognizes, right?
Right.
In each realm, it will be different.
Okay.
So the Nagaloka, what you're talking about, whether it is a material realm or non-material realm, I am saying it is an astral realm wherein, like, this is also an astral realm, but we are not seeing like an astral. See, how do we come to know we are in astral or non-astral? Just look at your deep sleep state. You don't exist. The world doesn't exist at all, right?
Right.
Even the dream state, the world doesn't exist. The inner world exists, but what is the waking world? That doesn't even exist. So the consciousness goes away and joins something else during the deep sleep state. Meaning the five senses loses the momentum of or the connection with the mind. So mind exists, but the senses don't exist. You don't make any sense of anything which is happening outside. So to that extent, the world is gone for that being, whether it is human or it is bird or insect or whatever. If they were sleeping, we only can presume that they are also sleeping. They might not sleep for 8 hours, they might sleep for 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever. But whoever sleeps in whatever form will not have anything existing. So then it becomes astral.
Yep.
So what we see is really not how it is. So Nagaloka also might be next with us, but we can't see it right now.
Yeah, correct.
Like that. I will try to find that video that I had seen and try to send that. That from the eyes they see that thing coming and going inside. Okay, shall we end then? If we don't have anything else.
Yeah. So we can end, no problem.
Yeah, and then we can meet tomorrow.
Yep.
All right. Okay, Padma Shri. Okay,
Okay.
Lata. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Vilas.
Yeah, sure. Bye. ಇನ್ನು ಉಳಿದಿದ್ಯಾ ತಿಂತೀನಿ ಬೇಡ. ಅಯ್ಯಯ್ಯೋ, ಹಂಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಏನದು ಅಸಹ್ಯ ಆಗೋಗಿದೆ.